Hello guys, this is me again, Ruben, your English teacher, or Ruru. Well, in this video I'm going to record the second part of the unit number 1, and we are going to see the lesson 2 and 4. We are going to skip lesson 3, which I don't think is really interesting for our class. Okay, I'm turning off my camera and I'm gonna go to the material. In this lesson 2 is greet a visitor to your country, and we have a conversation model, which is someone visiting a country. Now, listen.
Read and listen to someone greeting a visitor.
Welcome to Beijing. Have you ever been here before?
No, it's my first time. But yesterday I went to the Forbidden Palace. It was fantastic.
That's great. Have you tried Beijing duck yet?
Beijing duck? No, I haven't. What's that?
It's a famous Chinese dish. I think you'll like it.
Good. As you can see, in here we are going to see, have you been? No, it's my first time, but I went to, simple past, present perfect, and that is basically the grammar for this topic. And then we have some vocabulary related to the grammar, and which we are going to listen. But remember, when you say climb, if you are going to say in present perfect, you say, I have never climbed Mount Fuji. I have gone in New York City twice. This is very important for you guys as a tourism student. Go sightseeing. It's almost like tourist or tour. So listen.
Read and listen.
Climb Mount Fuji.
Go sightseeing in New York.
Go to the top of the Eiffel Tower.
Try Korean food.
Take a tour of the Tower of London.
Take pictures of the Great Wall.
Now listen again and repeat.
Climb,
Read and listen.
I'm not going to repeat it again
Climb Mount
because
Go
you
sightseeing.
can watch the video and repeat it again if you want to. But in this moment we are going to continue. Now, use the vocabulary to say what you have done or haven't done. So, I would say, have you ever tried Korean food? Have you ever taken a tour to the London Tower? Well, I know you as students from Colombia have not visited many countries, so I don't expect you to see me that you have taken pictures of the Great Wall. But then we can change this into our contest. For example, I would ask, have you ever been to Tayrona Park? Have you ever tried mondongo? Okay, so good. So then we have here some grammar, and the grammar, I already sent you the videos of the grammar, and here is the present perfect already, yet, ever, before, and never. So here are the explanations. I do not go into this because you know I already sent you a video with the explanations of the grammar. Just remember this. I'm going to say this in Spanish. When you say, I have never been to Tayrona Park, nunca he estado. So you are using the present perfect. And we have questions and we have answered. And if you want to check for more information, you can go to the grammar booster in here in your material. So we jump to the next section. In the next session, we are going to do some grammar practice. You will do this in groups. See, you are going to complete this exercise, grammar practice, and you are going to complete this exercise also, but I'm going to play it here, so when you get to the groups, you can listen to this video and complete these parts, because this part is going to be as group work.
Listen and complete the questions using the vocabulary. Conversation 1.
Welcome to India. Is this your first time here?
Yes, it is.
Really? Have you been to Agra yet?
Oh, that's where the Taj Mahal is, right? No, I haven't.
You should definitely take a tour. It's amazing.
Actually, I'm going there on Friday. I will.
Conversation 2.
This is my second time in Japan.
Well, welcome to Kyoto. Where else have you been?
So far I've been to Tokyo and Osaka. Tomorrow I'm going sightseeing here.
Kyoto is fantastic. You're going to enjoy it.
Conversation 3.
This is my first time in Peru. I've heard the food is great here.
Yes, it is. We're really proud of our food. Have you tried ceviche?
No, I haven't. Is it good?
Excellent.
Conversation 4.
Welcome to Mexico City. Is it your first time?
Yes,
When did you arrive?
last week. I've done so much, but for me the best was climbing the Pyramid of the Sun.
When did you do that?
Yesterday, it was incredible.
Conversation 5.
Welcome to Rio de Janeiro. Have you been here before?
Well, I've been to Sao Paulo before, but this is my first time to Rio.
Really? Have you seen Sugarloaf yet?
No, I haven't, but I plan to.
Oh, you should. It's amazing. Take lots of pictures.
Now listen again and complete the...
But I'm not going to listen again, but remember, this is our short answers and the correct information if the information is different. Okay, good. So now we go to write 5 questions about tourist activities in your city, Santa Marta. Use yet, already, ever, and before. Like I said before, have you visited Tayrona Park yet? Okay, so this is, you have to use it with your information. Well, I skipped the lesson 3 because I don't think it's really important right now. For me, it's more important to have lesson 4, describing an interesting experience. So in here, you are going to describe experience, but you need some participle adjectives. So I'm going to say this in Spanish, or I will place a tutorial or a link what participle adjectives are. Now, quiero decirlo en español. The safari was fascinating. Viene del verbo fascinate. El verbo fascinate es fascinar. She fascinates me. Ella me fascina, ¿cierto? Pero si yo digo the safari was fascinating, el safari fue excitante, emocionante. Y si yo digo I was o I am fascinated by, entonces yo estoy fascinado, emocionado, encantado con. Entonces tenemos la terminación ing, ed, que aquí se convierten en adjetivos. Entonces, listen.
Read and listen.
The safari was fascinating. They were fascinated.
The ski trip was thrilling. They were thrilled.
The skydive was frightening. They were frightened.
The food was disgusting. They were disgusted.
Good.
Now listen again and repeat.
Now listen again. Okay, so I'm not going to repeat. Now, exercise. Write list of things you think are fascinating, thrilling, frightening, or disgusting. Si yo les pregunto a ustedes, What do you think is disgusting? Well, you say, for me, mondongo is disgusting. I am disgusted by mondongo. Now, this is an exercise to do it in groups, not, well, I would check in the class, but this is something you have to do when you are in small groups. Now, listening to comprehension. This is very important to understand that when we listening to clarify, vamos a tener una idea en general. So, listening to 3 interviews, then listen again and write the numbers of the speaker described by each statement. So, according to this, you have to say, ¿cuál es la conversación? El número 3 es travel to have thrilling experiences. Now, then you gotta tell me what conversation is number 2, what conversation is number 1, what conversation is number 4, 5, and 6. Listen.
Listen to the 3 interviews. Interview 1.
This is Nick Krakauer, and you're listening to World Reflections. We're talking today with Nancy Sullivan from Minneapolis in the United States. Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nick.
So, Nancy, I understand you're a real traveler, that you've visited over 25 countries around the world.
That's right.
Tell us some of the places you've been to.
Well, I've been to countries all over. North and South America, Europe, Asia.
What have been the most fascinating places for you to visit?
Well, I like visiting countries where the culture is really different from my own. That's what I find most interesting. Different body language, different foods, you know.
You told me earlier you've been to India. What was that like?
Oh, India is fantastic.
And what was so different about it?
Well, for one thing, when people say yes, they shake their heads from side to side instead of up and down like I do.
Interview 2.
Nick Krakauer here, hosting World Reflections. Today's guest is Andrew Barlow from Perth, Australia. G'day, mate.
G'day to you.
So, Andrew, I understand you've been a teacher overseas. Is that correct?
I have been, yes.
And I understand you have an interesting story about something you ate once in one of those countries.
That's right.
Tell us about it.
Well, this happened when I got my first teaching job in a very small village. The people in the village wanted to thank me for coming, so they prepared a meal with a lot of really delicious dishes.
That must have been nice.
It was, but there was one thing that I thought was kind of, well, disgusting. They had these tiny little fish that were still alive. They were moving on the plate.
Whoa!
Yeah, you're supposed to put one in your mouth and swallow it whole.
Oh, boy!
Look, I was their guest and I didn't want to be impolite, so I tried one. But I could feel it moving as it went down into my stomach. I tried a few to be nice, but I just didn't know how to say thanks but no thanks without being rude.
Interview 3.
We're back on World Reflections. My next guest is Mieko Nakamura from Sendai, Japan. Welcome, Mieko.
Remember that this is the answer.
Mieko, I've
Travel
been
to
told
have
that you've
thrilling
traveled a lot and you've
experiences.
done some unusual things.
I have.
That you especially like to do, well, things that would be kind of frightening for most people.
I guess that's true, but not scary to me, just very exciting.
So, tell us about what you've done.
Well, for one thing, I've gone swimming with sharks. Twice!
What?
Swimming with sharks.
For real? And you didn't find that scary?
Well, I didn't do it alone. I was with a group. But swimming so close to the sharks was really thrilling.
And what else?
Last year, I climbed Mount Everest.
The world's highest mountain?
Yes,
I'll bet it was really cold.
it was. But I was really thrilled to be standing on the top of the world.
Now listen again and write the number of the speaker described by each statement.
So
Interview
remember
1.
that I'm not going to repeat. Okay, so you can listen again to this. So here we have the same listening, but for details. When we have the same listening for details, are WH questions or yes/no questions. So the first question is how many countries has Nancy Sullivan visited? So I'm not going to repeat the listening again because I don't want this to be very big video. And then we have, now you can describe experience. Have you ever been someplace that was really fascinating? Okay, good. Cuando yo les haga esta pregunta, yo voy a hacer siempre un material se llama un question bank. Si yo le hago esta pregunta aquí y yo les voy a preguntar a ustedes, explain en el sentido, ¿has estado en algún lugar que sea fascinante? Sí, sí he estado, pero no solamente te quedas con sí, sí he estado, sino tienes que explicar, como dice aquí, escribe los detalles, tantos detalles como tú puedas. Entonces voy a organizar un question bank, un cuestionario sobre las unidades, y sobre ese cuestionario va a haber un oral también. Bueno, básicamente eso es, esto es un repaso de la unidad 2, pero lo haremos despacio, lo haremos más tranquilamente, seguiremos viendo más material a través de diferentes ejercicios. Entonces, see you in class. Goodbye. I hope you watch this and make some comment. Thank you.